The old saying goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But what do you do when life gives you cancer? This is not a sob story, this is Stephen's story. I was diagnosed in September 2010. Altogether, I've undergone about 7 lots of surgery, 30 sessions of radiotherapy, and 4 different regimes of chemotherapy, and soon I'll be starting a 5th. The aim of Stephen's story is to spread as much positivity as possible, to show people what it's like to have something go wrong with your life but not to be defined by it.
I think one of the things that Stephen always stresses is, I may have cancer, but cancer doesn't have me. It doesn't have to be about suffering.
1 week after the original operation to remove tumours from my bowel, and one day I was at hospital, I ended up going to a fancy dress party. The surgeon gave me advice to go home, take it easy and basically do nothing. But I decided to go to this party dressed as a granny, in a wheelchair. And because of how much weight I'd lost and because of how thin and pale I was pretty convincing. But by the end of the night I was being pushed around in front of a conga line in my wheelchair, having an absolutely fantastic time. And this was me from the off making a statement of how I was going to overcome my illness.
Stephen Sutton was an exceptional student. Exceptional in academic terms, securing some of the best results we have ever seen in the history of this school.
He was going through chemo once a fortnight, and literally the only time he had off school throughout the whole thing were the 3 days where he was having the chemo.
Stephen is perhaps the most amazing person I've ever met, let alone student.
He's very special because he refuses to let this beat him or govern the rest of his life.
He stuck 2 fingers up at cancer, basically. And I think that's the kind of attitude that the people in this school needed to see.
It's made lots of young people here think quite differently about the sorts of decisions they're making and how they need to make the best of their opportunities.
In a weird way, I actually see my first cancer diagnosis as a good thing. It was a huge kick up the backside that gave me a lot of motivation for life. On 13th of January 2013, I made a Facebook page called StephensStory. On the page, I included a bucket list of 46 things I want to achieve in the near future. Some of the things on my bucket list include skydiving, crowd surf in a rubber dinghy, the drum in front of a huge crowd. I ended up doing this live at Wembley. Hug an animal bigger than me was also on the list. Another thing on the bucket list was to get a tattoo. I ended up getting a troll doll tattooed underneath my armpit, with my armpit hair doubling up as a troll doll's hair. Since starting the bucket list, I've had people come up to me and offer to raise funds for me, i.e. for me personally, to go on a holiday or to tick off another item of my bucket list. But I've actually refused and decided to give the money to charity instead.
I think when Stephen started his bucket list, we never expected it to go where it's gone, and the fact that he's inspired and motivated so many people.
Stephen rang me up and decided to forget the bucket list. Don't waste your efforts. Let's singly focus on raising money.
Since starting the bucket list, my life has changed completely. I'm now doing so many weird and wonderful things and so much more. The amount of opportunities I'm having chucked my way is absolutely immense, and the one thing I've really enjoyed is the fundraising and helping others. So that's the main thing I now want to concentrate on.
I would say that anyone in the community would know who he is.
He'd be sitting in the office and you could see the kids walking past going, oh, look, there's Stephen! Look, Stephen's in there! Almost like he was some kind of pop star that had been adulated.
The most powerful thing I've ever seen is when you actually meet Stephen, because Facebook's one thing and you can see all the positivity which he brings out, and he really does bring everybody together. But when you meet him, the effect is tenfold, in terms of you get this energy and you really want to just do something, and you have to see that to believe it. And I've gone on to call that the Stephen Story effect.
The first event that he spoke at for us, I was absolutely amazed. Within minutes, within the hour, I was having emails and text messages from people saying just how authentic he was. He wasn't like your typical sort of motivational speaker. It was just a real, raw story, but such an inspiration at the same time.
The students were hanging on his every word, It was palpable. By far the best speaker I've ever heard, and the impact, amazing, complete, spontaneous standing ovation. Everyone very, very moved and very proud to be associated with someone like that within their own community.
And our next speaker is a teenager who knows really all too much about cancer. I am not going to tell you his story because he does it so well himself. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome for an amazing young man, Stephen Sutton.
His focus and drive and passion and thirst for life, I just find absolutely staggering. And his desire, his genuine desire to help other people who are in difficult situations as well, is an absolute inspiration.
I do not know how long I've got left to live. But one of the reasons for that is because I haven't asked. And that's because I don't see the point in measuring life in terms of time anymore. I would rather measure it in terms of what I actually achieve, I'd rather measure it in terms of making a difference, which I think is a much more valid and pragmatic measure.
I don't want to be remembered as someone who didn't fulfil their potential. My original goal was to become a doctor and to help others that way. Unfortunately, my diagnosis means that I won't be able to fulfil that dream. However, my core purpose of helping others is still the same.
You can't give me your time to make me live longer, but what I can try and do is to give you a bit of my motivation, to go out there and achieve something, to go out there and help others, to go out there and enjoy life, to continue the work of a foundation. I'm going to say once more, to make a difference.
He's a wonderful guy and been my best mate ever since year 4, and I wouldn't change a thing. It's great that now a lot more people can see the same best friend as what I have.
I think Stephen's really affected a whole heap of people in a myriad of different ways.
He knows he's in a bad situation, but he makes the best out of it and gets the best out of other people as well, not just himself.
With Stephen telling his story, it's made people appreciate just, what they have got.
He's extraordinary with his positivity in terms of no matter what life throws at him, he's still going to make the best out of every situation.
At the moment, I am happy and will continue to be happy regardless of what the future might hold. For whatever reason, life has given me cancer. I don't really want to die, but if my story teaches others not to take life for granted, then so be it. In the meantime, I'll be trying to enjoy every second as much as possible. Cancer sucks, but life is great.
3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me, that's right. And if you want a good tomorrow, it's pretty simple, got a final life to follow. And if you do, you have a future real bright. And it's a combination of consistency, come on.